to the room, those wear-lights begin to swirl around the room.
Here we go again.
And then they're starting to come together like they did in this room. Go ahead, Leslie.
During the very distracting reveal,
Yeah.
can I pickpocket the book?
You can try.
This all. What reveal?
But you're already over
This,
there.
this happened while you guys hadn't even found the book yet.
So at a later point, because he's got it sticking out of his back pocket, right?
We're in a
Like this sort of-
flashback now.
Yeah, this is a flashback.
Flashback, yeah.
Okay.
Right. So as you enter,
Meanwhile.
as the four lights are kind of swirling around, right? But as they start to come together, suddenly there is a rumbling sound through the library, and the four lights wink out. So they're starting, and then they wink out, and then the books around the room begin to swirl. Many of them. They begin to swirl, and then they begin to settle, and then the books begin to stack on top of each other. They begin to stack on top of each other, and then they curve. They curve up, and then they stack next to each other this way. And then other ones. And you begin to see what looks like a four-legged shape is being formed from the books in the room. Then a tail. Then a head.
Wow.
And what you find yourself facing, and as it's done, you find yourself
Because you were too
facing-
stupid to run at any point while this was happening.
Okay.
Anyone's
Oh, the A
You see
now.
a creature that looks vaguely like a massive book-shaped winged creature,
It's a
but made
thesaurus.
entirely of books.
And once again, I go to the top of the betting.
And it does this. It goes. Roll initiative, I say. So let's do it.
Are you sure it didn't say roll initiative?
Probably.
That would be awesome.
At the same time. Probably it
16.
did. Okay.
Both you and it at the same time.
Well, this isn't my
So
problem.
this
I'm way
is,
over
we're
there.
still getting the. we're
Oh
still
yeah, no,
talking
this
to
is
the
while
library.
you
Yes, I'm way
guys
over
are
there
talking
too,
to
but
the
I mean, I
librarian.
suppose with the
I am
we
here
could
by
be not
myself.
way over there.
Are
I'm
we
confessing.
all
This is
rolling
actually
initiative,
so.
guys?
This is actually right as you enter the room. This is all happening. Blah 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 blah. So it's pretty much at the end of the librarian. Like as you guys are talking to the librarian, this happens. So this is happening. Yeah. So everybody's rolling initiative. But I will tell you that as because you weren't talking, you were talking not to the librarian. You were talking right to the Clockwork Librarian. So you guys heard this rumble, and the Clockwork's like. The Clockwork Librarian has already run out of the room, so you just hear
it's
this.
all you're
So you
hearing,
guys
yeah.
are in these rooms, and you hear this rumble like, what? And then you hear this, so you hear a very loud something or other
Sounds
coming
like
from
Shaw
here.
did something
As a
stupid.
side note,
We have to help.
as a side note, I just want to make sure that I am understanding one thing correctly. I have not heard your.
You don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so in character, I know nothing.
Yep.
Right.
I still think you're 19.
You know
Yeah,
nothing,
got it.
Jon Snow. Yes. All right.
I know nothing.
So,
Yeah, you don't know.
all right.
I am useful.
So even though I'm way over there,
Right.
All right. Let's go this way this time, David.
that's terrible. That's a 3.
Okay.
Well, that would explain.
Brian.
16.
Ryan.
Also a 3.
Okay. Dexterity. Just
I
the
got
raw
plus two
score.
bonus.
Just raw score though.
Yeah, my
technically I have a
raw score was
2
a
then.
1.
Ryan's higher.
No, your raw dexterity.
Oh yeah, I
Just
have
the
a sorry, 16. Yeah.
He has
What's
a
yours?
2.
So I got a
Raw dexterity is a 9 with a minus
He's
1. I have a
actually
2.
I lied. Yep.
Okay,
Sorry,
so-
I'm actually at 4. I forgot to hit it.
I'm
Plus
actually
three,
at 2.
because I have 16.
Oh, so you have a 4?
So there we go. Makes it easy. I'm
Okay.
He has a 4 and I have a 2.
Got it. You have a 2.
Pass me was a
All right.
liar.
Outstanding.
This means true.
Aaron.
2 one-off bugs.
8. Okay. Killing.
18.
I'm sorry. Dylan first. I'm sorry.
16.
16.
I like that you already assume I'm dead.
Yeah, I know. Dead man walking. No.
18.
18. All right. That.
18. What's
All
your
right.
next?
And Karen.
7
Ron
I
is
rolled
8.
for.
Oh,
7. Okay.
I'm over Kelly.
And what's your dex?
Okay.
16.
You go before I
So
do.
we will start with. Okay. Corinna, you're up first.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Just out of curiosity,
You might wanna get
for
out from
when we
in
get
front
to
of
the
me.
end of this round and it's finally my turn.
Right.
How far is it from where I am, way the hell over there, to where that monster is?
Squares. How many
That's a
squares?
good.
40 feet?
Yeah.
Longer than that.
And my move,
Probably almost 60 feet.
Yeah, my speed is
60
only
feet, that's
25
it?
feet.
Well, but you can only move in a round. You can only usually move 25 to 30 feet.
Yeah, but I could throw a javelin 120.
Oh, if you want everyone duck and then over shelves and through rooms and like.
I like this like long straight
I
line.
like this
It's like-
call shot.
It's like
That would be
arrow
quite a
like,
shot.
right down the. I
You
like
best
it.
be rolling a critical.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Wait, specify what kind of critical? Critical failure
Yeah, I was gonna say,
or
yeah.
critical success?
Where's the
halfling?
And where is the halfling before I fire?
Go ahead, Corinne.
Okay, so the halfling will head down into the room with the shelves.
Into the
but
line of
I
fire.
go to the sides because it might be magical, so I don't
Okay.
think I get that far. I
Uh,
think
how
I only
far
get
can
like
you
5
move?
squares.
Where are you
25.
starting from? Where are you?
25, and I'm right
Oh, there
here.
you are.
I'm right there.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm really-
you'd be in the room basically to either the
So
north
that's
or the
5
southern.
squares.
Right there? Well,
That's
then
5
press me
squares.
into a corner because I don't want to block the door.
Okay. All right. Next up is Garvin.
Same thing, I got a 25 feet, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Let's see. Now, let's see. What's I know I asked you this before. What's your dexterity?
16, I go before him.
Yeah, we already checked that.
We checked it.
No, I was trying to decide.
Oh, somebody else.
Whether someone else goes before
Yes,
you.
I'm 16.
Okay.
Dexter.
So.
I'm at 9.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Um, so I guess move
He's
me
up on your chair.
to line of sight and
Are
then.
you orange
attack
or
us.
yellow?
Orange. No, she,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
Varentia
you're
is
right.
yellow.
Yellow, yeah, you're right, you're right. Just move me up
So
there.
do you wanna be
That's
here?
good. Yeah, I think that's a good.
Okay.
That works for range probably.
Yep, I would say so. Be aware that. Well, I'm trying to see if you have,
I think she's got pretty much of a straight shot.
Except for the paladin.
except for the paladin right in the way.
Oh, detail.
Well, actually,
I think you.
with
The
the paladin in
creature
the
is
way-
big enough that it doesn't matter. You have enough of a shot to hit it. That's fine.
okay. Well, actually,
Look
for,
at it
for
this
flavor,
way.
For flavor, the paladin will actually just magic missiles, so it's like unerring or whatever.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
look at it this way, if you kill me, the monster can't.
Yeah. So, what is it?
So that's
I
a
don't remember.
positive.
Right.
Apparently.
I'll think about that after I take my action. So, with magic missile, I forget. Do I roll or not roll now? I don't remember.
No, they just hit. So you're going to
Just
create 3 magical missiles of force, which are 1d4 plus 1
yeah,
each.
Right.
Each of which will hit unerringly.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Checking.
That'll be awesome. You'll piss
Wow.
it off.
4, 4,
Ooh,
1.
look at that.
9, 12. 12 damage.
All right. You definitely seem to have irritated it.
All right.
So it kind of goes back a couple of pages and book, a book flies off of it.
Paper flying, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. That leads us to. Are you staying where you were? Because you moved up.
I did move, so I'm done. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
done.
All right. Now
I'm not
it
blocking
goes
the door, am I?
before you.
Actually, let me-
So.
I'll move off so that I'm not blocking the door. How's that?
Well,
Okay.
I think you move before and after now.
So it moves up at you.
Up at the
and
paladin?
Up at the paladin, and it strikes at you twice. Tries to hit you, and you notice as it does it that on there, as I said, books all the way around. But you notice that somehow the edges of the books where it is have sharpened, so it's almost like claws.
Paper cut!
Or a very bad paper cut, right? And there's lemon juice in its hand. No, I'm just kidding. Just joking. I made that up. Okay, so
Special paper that it can
Exactly.
be wet.
so the
Have
first
lemon
one,
juice.
exactly.
Sorry.
This one is an 8. Second attack is a 23.
so the first one misses, but the second one hits.
Okay. Let's see. Where did my dice go? Here we go. Ooh. So it's going to do 6 points of damage to you.
Okay.
Also, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw to see if you are knocked prone by its attack.
17.
Okay, yeah. So you're like, but you stand your ground because you are a powerful paladin and screw that. And now you have a chance to go.
Don't
as
tell
it,
me
as
that,
it
because then I'm
stands
going to do something dumb. Oh, wait. Do
That was inevitable.
you still have your torch?
Sure, sure. I'm way
Okay.
over there, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's way.
Yeah, but I don't know that.
If you lash it to the javelin.
Yeah, that'll take a
I
turn.
was just kidding. I'm ready. Okay.
The thing is covered in books, right?
Yeah.
have a projectile.
The thing is books.
The thing is books.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to yell.
Keep in mind that if you ignite it, you're gonna set the whole library ablaze.
Is that a problem?
Anyway, we can't have this conversation because we're in the middle of
No,
combat.
I'm still going to go with my original plan, which is a poor idea.
Go with your
So,
Beautiful.
I'm going to yell,
Follow your
Cadmus
heart.
torch! And I'm going to take my flask of wine and just try to, like, splash it all over the
Oh, you're gonna
A
try
shame
to
it's
ruin
not
it with,
whiskey.
with
Okay.
ink wine stains.
So-
I like it.
Okay, so you're gonna. So what I'm gonna. Let's see.
You're gonna make it harder to light. That's
So you're gonna
great.
basically throw a bunch
Wine's
of wine on
flammable.
No,
Okay.
it's not.
it. All right.
In my brain, it is.
Are you? So Cadmus. There is that. Not Cadmus. Shala, are you
Valid point.
sprinkling or are you trying to smash?
No, I'm trying to smash.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're kind of like.
A little aspergillum.
Right. Okay, so go ahead.
I bless
and
thee.
Make a. I'm just gonna have you make a dexterity roll. We're gonna see if you can. No, make a strength roll. Screw that. Make a strength roll. Let's see how hard.
Strength
you can
roll,
throw it.
21.
Okay. So yeah, you freaking hit this thing. wine goes all over it. It's like this, right?
You've
But-
confused it.
Now, this is what happens though. When you do that, you do notice something, and that is, as it sort of is kind of like this.
It's getting
You
soggy.
notice a couple of those weir lights that I mentioned are hovering here, here, and down by its knee joints. Basically in its shoulders, or whatever the,
It's got weak spots at the shoulders and knees.
Shala cries out.
Okay.
Before she dies.
Let's see.
And then
You're staying where you are
take
moving wise?
No, I'm taking a 5 foot
Actually-
step, so I'm not in the middle of all of the ranged attacks that might potentially come down.
Okay. So you just hit it.
Dodging to the left.
Proceed. Okay. Right. So let's see. Next up is going to be that would be Calixon, I believe.
Yes, it is. Deadpool. I'm at the top of the
You're definitely at the top of Deadpool. So I don't actually know if I actually made it this far, because what I would have done was go
Well,
back to
when
get
it started
the others.
forming, you
was
started
to go
going
get
to
the
the
others.
others.
Right, but was that before the combat, or?
It depends on how fast you were going back to get. I mean, like immediately, like you saw it went back.
Yeah.
Okay.
It started forming, and I.
Oh yeah, as soon as
went
you
that
said
way.
the books
Okay.
start stacking, he started
Okay. Well, then
backing
you're.
up.
I mean, are you continuing to do that?
Well,
Because
yeah. I
it's
mean, I
still
went back to
forming.
get everybody else and say, guys, Shala did something really stupid. Surprising.
You were with me.
Fortunately, we all heard the noise and we're already running toward you anyway.
Yeah. I know.
As you come across the street, you're like, guys, and you're like, okay.
No, yeah, fine. Yeah. Okay.
You were with me. You helped.
I did not help.
Okay. So now what?
So I guess I'm gonna go
Back.
back to try to help.
I think we ate them.
Aren't you like a sorcerer or something?
Yeah.
Oh, here they are.
Or something.
Try it.
So sorcerer.
Shut. All the way over there.
So you're just firing at the body of the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lassen's keeping an eye on Goody Two Shoes over there.
17.
You can throw another one at me when I die.
Kapow.
5 points.
I mean, I'll try and heal him, but.
It's definitely troubled by your guys' attacks.
I am too.
Troubled in sort of a like, oh, attacks type of way. Okay.
I hate it when they happen.
So that brings us on to Lesson.
Okay. So.
And
oh, looks
Cadmus,
like
you're
I
on
got
deck.
You're in
good
a
shot.
you're at a good range. You could
Yeah.
fall back to cover
So
quite
I
easily.
just looked up the range on a hand crossbow, and it says 30/120. Does that mean max range 120, and what's
Yes.
the
Right,
negative
120 would be
modifier?
long range.
So how many feet are we?
About 60, he said.
Oh, okay, so half
She might be a
of my
little
long
less.
range.
55 feet currently.
You could also move.
You could also
30
move
feet.
before you fire. You
You
could
can.
close in.
You could move up.
Yours.
But
Or you-
who's over here?
That's me.
Cadmus, aka Jerk. It says it right here. You wrote
You
it.
can move
I
up
did.
To about here, you can fire
You could shoot.
short range instead
Okay.
of long range.
Okay,
You want to do that?
yeah.
Okay. You firing just at the body of the creature, just straight up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You track it from the real lights.
had weak spots.
Knees and
Oh,
elbows.
did I
you
hear
said.
that?
I don't know.
Where I
You
was?
said, I assumed you said.
Shala called it out.
Shala
Yeah,
called
I
it out.
shouted it
Okay,
as loud
I do
as I
have
could.
pointy ears.
Yeah.
So
Do they
big
swivel
ones.
like that too?
Apparently they're
If any of us
That's
were
a
paying
special
attention, we
voucher.
might have known what Shala said.
if you're aiming for one of the wear lights, you can do that. It will be a -1 to hit because they're smaller, but you can do that if you wish.
I'll take that negative modifier.
Okay.
Do you want to sing anything inspiring?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not inspired yet.
What is it?
8. I
It's
think.
a mighty 8.
Yeah.
-1 is 7. Plus,
Ranged? Do you have any pluses to ranged?
Once you-
yes, plus 5.
You get
There you go.
proficiency bonus, right?
Oh, my range was right there, 8320 feet. Apparently my phone was wrong. Okay, so 7 plus 5 would be 12.
Okay, that's a hit. So it strikes and it winks out. And when it does that,
Oh,
like
nice.
really, it's really, really pissed at you. Really, really upset.
Really
I'll stay
upset.
back here,
Really
guys.
angry.
Working
By
your
the
way
you're
up
gonna
the
inspire anybody.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and throw a jab
Okay,
on the lake
Cadmus,
from
you're
the
up.
library. Actually, I'm after. I have the lowest number. I'm after Fripp.
Yeah.
Fripp had a 4. I had a
4.
2.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Sorry. I don't want to. I would never want to skip Fripp. I beg your pardon. Fripp.
I would hate to
Can't do that.
Can't skip Fripp.
Can't skip Fripp.
It's actually Celius Shornleaf, but I understand if you still are
What?
cloying to my
I
past.
beg your pardon. Silly.
What do you mean?
You can't hear
Can we talk about this later?
You're right,
No, we can talk about this right now.
but I'm not gonna. Damn it! I'm not gonna inspire just one of you
You're gonna stand in the line of fire and try to inspire all of us.
That's a good point. I'm slightly to the side.
Shane Bardic inspiration, let's be clear. Okay? I know you're good, but still.
Just a line of inspiration is right down the line. Come on.
Listen
Give it
here,
to us.
you voluminous beast. And he takes.
Voluminous.
words.
Terrible voluminous.
He takes out a drumstick.
So bad.
A turkey drumstick?
No, just a regular one. It's like a big padded one that you'd use for like a very
I see.
heavy
That kind of a drumstick.
timpani.
For the bass
And,
drum at every end you
yes.
saw.
Right.
And he swirls it through the air, and it like conjures this glowing blue circle, and then with both hands he smashes into it, and it makes this huge crash, and it shatters.
It's the Gong Show?
Yes, and it shatters into 1,000 dots of light, which
He
then
made an arcane symbol.
sort of float through the air, trying to trace the outline of this beast's body as he conjures up fairy fire.
I was really waiting for the end of this spell. And then it
You're like,
does
wow, I don't
800
remember that
damage,
spell.
it resurrects
I don't
Tina. Like,
remember
what
that
does it do? Okay, alright. Fairy fire, yes. Okay, now they need to make a saving throw against
Yes.
this.
You killed that fairy fire. Let me just.
Woo!
I don't care
DC
what- I don't care
18.
what you
You
rolled.
sold that.
In my book, you fucking killed it.
It was so
Oh,
amazed
sorry,
by
DC 13.
it's okay. It was so amazed by your
Hey, bro.
description of this that it was,
Oh,
kind
sorry,
of
bro.
like, it was kind of like, what are you like so there are now it is now lit by a glowing flickering blue
All gain advantage to attacking it.
Beautiful.
it's on fire stuff.
Now, I have a move of 30, and if somebody would be so kind as to move me 6 squares into a position where I have a line of sight to the creature.
Right there.
Actually easy.
Last in
Done.
size, sadly thinking how much better Fripp would be at being in the circus than he would be.
Yeah.
Aww.
Puppers have to learn.
Even the creature is like,
Hard to get
oh.
good at
And it's like, no. All right. So go ahead and you're going to throw the javelin.
It's
Yes.
going to be a javelin, a ranged weapon attack. I have +5 to
They are
hit.
javelin.
Advantage.
Plus the advantage from the fairy fire.
Which means you're going to be advantage means you're rolling twice and you're taking the higher of the two results. Are you aiming at the wear-light or are you aiming
Yeah,
at?
where are the where do I see the wear lights?
Now so the one that was up on the one shoulder is gone. There's 2 by its feet and 1 up on the other shoulder that is still left.
All right, I'll go for the one of the other up shoulder.
The other up shoulder. Okay. So you're going to be doing it at a -1, but at advantage. So you roll it twice with -1 each time.
All right, so my total is actually +4 to hit with advantage.
You can
So
do
it's a
this.
5 + 4 is either a 9 or, come on, you stupid dice.
So you yelled at it.
You
It did
yelled
like
at
it.
it.
It was like
And
like,
it
Fuck you, I'm out.
responded appropriately.
11.
It was dramatic. What was it?
11.
Not quite. It just sort of run back exactly. It was pretty close. God, son of a.
Son of a bitch.
Okay. Now staying where you are, disappointed though you are, you must go on, and that leads us to, I believe it is Corinna who goes first.
Oh,
So
really?
Corinna, you're back at the top of the round.
Wow. God, what is the range on a damn dart? Wait, it's not that good.
26 stuck in
Yeah, it's 26.
Do initiative.
Or I
Well,
could run in
60
and.
is where
been
mine
doing it
is.
a long
Slow
way.
down much.
All you
It'll
gotta
be
do
even
is
more,
take 5
because
foot
it
step.
actually
10,
takes a long time to
15,
figure out who's
20.
the order is.
So if you get
Theoretically,
three,
in the
you'll be at
round,
20.
if you're higher in the
All right, well,
initiative, you
move
can
me
delay
there,
so that
and
someone
I'll
else takes
toss
an
a dart.
initiative order above you, but that's up to
You're at
them, not
20.
you. You can't go
Okay,
up the
so
order,
my
so.
range is +5. I got a 21.
Okay,
Wow, good job. Yeah,
that is a
really.
hit for
It's
sure.
it's a
Oh, I'm
stinking
sorry, were
dart.
you aiming at the light, or were you
Yeah, I
aiming
would
at-
have aimed at the
So it
light.
would have been a 20 then, because the -1, so, which is a hit.
Oh, okay.
So go ahead and roll damage.
So I hit it and I do 6 points.
And it winks out. So now it's just the 2 that are sort of closer to the floor.
We gotta kneecap it, baby.
Okay, that leads us to Garvin.
Oh, I have an axe.
Heal it!
Yeah, no,
As she
I-
comes
A
forward,
very effective
as Garvin
axe.
comes forward, waving it around you, Corinna, I got this. You're like,
It was good enough to kill a halfling.
too soon.
Really?
R.I.P.
So I'm
Anybody
there.
want a Kit Kat? Kit Kat?
I'm
Okay.
yeah, I'm throwing an axe.
I also just want to comment that Twitch chat is very impressed with the animated quality of Ryan's role playing. And also wants to say, is no one reading the comments? Yes, I am reading the comments. And someone who seems to be in the room at the moment just said, yep. I can't imagine who that would be. But there seems to be someone here who might have a connection to my Twitch channel at this very moment. But I'm reading the comments. Hi, Luke. Welcome, Twitch.
Okay, so wait, so yeah, so I'm throwing an axe.
Do it.
Did you hit me?
I really wish they could. There's so much humor value, but.
It's
Oh, you
It's
get
a
to roll it
You
twice
get to
though.
roll it twice.
Oh,
so
do
you have
I?
advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
advantage. Also, are you rolling for the light, or are you rolling for
Yes.
the?
You're hitting the light or the.
Are you trying to
Are you
get-
just going for general
Well,
damage, or are
I'm
you going
aiming
for a
the
target?
light.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There we
Alright, so
go.
it's a
Minus one,
-1.
but at advantage. Go to it.
That's
Ooh,
better.
that's better.
16, so plus 4 to hit, so 20.
Woo! Hit.
Minus
19.
Hit. Let me see what damage you got.
a lot.
Okay.
3.
Oh, for God's sake!
Doesn't matter.
Hit me in the back with max
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
You got
matter.
the
It
hit.
winks out. So it's got one left now that remains.
Okay.
You notice now that it seems to be like the books are kind of like expanding from it and then compressing again, like it's sort of having a hard time holding itself together, would be the way to describe it. And that will lead us up to, oh God, the collection. I believe it's Rencia first.
Yeah, I think so. So I will. Yeah, I guess I'll step out and let's see, hit it with.
You got it, babe. Oh wait, no.
Are we
you
trying
don't have
to?
to do
Are we
it
trying to not roast books here, or we are roasting?
So, you know, you stay in a roll so long, sometimes you forget.
So you're aiming, if you're firing at, or doing
Yeah,
what?
actually,
what?
I'll just. It doesn't matter. I'll do like frost, ray of frost. So.
At
The wear light. Yeah.
Oh
One
yeah.
last
The last remaining wear light. That is 17.
that is a hit. Let's see what the damage is.
Okay. 6 damage.
Okay. So when you do that, it winks out, and this thing, and then it literally leaps forward towards who's in front. It leaps forward towards Shala like this, and then as it's about to like hit you, it dematerializes into a shower of books. Just so you're like,
That still hurts.
And it hits you with some knowledge.
yeah, exactly.
I'm resistant to knowledge.
That explains it.
Resistant to knowledge. All right.
I like it.
Down
much
goes
his
the creature. Now, when that thing goes
And down goes me.
Oh no. Sorry. That's a lot of books.
So when that goes down, it winks out, this thing collapses to the ground, and then rising from the floor, you see the 4 wear-lights beginning to rise up again, right? This time they begin to spin together, but this time they come together, the way the last one did. And they spin and resolve into a figure, a shorter figure this time, although it looks the same because whatever.
Jail!
It's jail.
And this one sort of rises above and says, "Well done, my friends. Well done.
Are
Do you need a throat lozenge?
Are you Jail Ogeon?
Hooray!
My companion, I assume.
Yes.
How is Artur?"
Dead.
We don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
We need your help.
He's irascible, but a straight shooter.
When did you get all serious?
You've read him like a book.
My name is Celine Shortleaf. I'm not who you think I am.
It's true.
So he says,
We'll talk about it later.
So he says, I thank you. I thank you.
Hold on a moment. What?
There's some drama. You'll have to excuse me.
I was sent here to investigate the school
He's
for
over
corruption,
100 years
but
old.
we are in the middle of that investigation right now.
Focus.
Great. While they're doing that, I'm going to go report to Jeff.
Okay, go ahead and do that.
Harper's.
So,
Harper's.
you guys, okay, so he waits very patiently. And then he says, he looks at all of you and he says, I thank you for releasing me. And he says, I have been trapped in these 4 lights that you see around me for some time. It was you who released me from them. Some great force here
Yeah, I don't think
took over my essence and drove me into that thing.
So you're welcome.
Yeah.
And he nods, and he says, "What did Artur tell you? Did you explain?"
Said a lot.
Screwed over by the teachers, roaming the halls,
And
kinda
said
ticked
to
off,
find
and-
you.
Oh yeah, and to come look for
Yeah.
you.
Grandpappy had an
And here you
infestation
are.
of revenants in the floorboards about 20 years ago. And they also said that you had like,
And apparently inspired a southern accent.
Apparently, I was just going to say that. Yes.
they also said that you had a detention
Dungeons
pass you could
Dragons
give
Hee-Haw
us.
style.
Oh, and some jerk named Vernon sent us in here to find a book that doesn't exist.
And so when you say that, when you say the name, he kind of brightens a little bit, and he says,
No.
"Did you say Vernon Richard?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
jerk.
that guy.
Yeah, the jerk.
Vernon Richard sent you here."
Yeah,
Yes.
jerk-faced Richard sent us in here.
And he sort of, and it is true. I never believed it, but it is true. does Artur think that Vernon did this?
Yes!
We all do at this point.
Yeah,
And he
pretty
says,
much.
I don't know.
we are such, he sort of smiles and says,
You'll have to forgive her.
I'm
She's
sure
an
you
idiot.
have other gifts, Paladin.
I am the leader.
Hey, show him the pin. He's my
She says,
leader.
Show him the pin!
Show him the pin.
and he says,
You have the pin!
You have the pin.
Oh, right, yeah, I got this.
show him the, so
And you say I'm slow.
So he looks at the pin and he says,
Thank you.
he looks at the pin and he says, yes, this is what he wore when we attacked him. We were wrong to do it, you know. I didn't want to, but Artur said that there was something dangerous. And I said we could not be sure. And then there was a bolt of lightning and then we killed him first. His body hit the ground.
That's usually the way it works.
And then as we watched, he rose in front of us. He rose from the ground, and he clapped his hands with great force.
But he was happy when he
Darkness
knew it.
fell.
So you
And when
made the Revenant.
Yes,
And the Revenant. Well, then who's Vernon Richard up above?
Vernon Richard.
What?
Vernon Richard is.
Imposter.
And he sort of
Yes,
kind of
some
nods
pride.
his head. He says, "What we killed was the undead form. When it rose again, it was even stronger. It was already dead. Vernon Richard must have killed him. When we killed him again, destroyed that revenant, something of his will and the magic of this place made him even more powerful. When he rose a second time, we no longer had control. I have not been able to leave this room, stuck in the body of that beast for 20 years.
Let me throw a stupid question at you. There's a hallway that leads off of the chamber where the silver tree is. It leads east, I believe.
Yes.
And we walked into it, and it's like walking into a wall. Is there a way past that you can tell us about?
Yes.
How do we get past that?
Is there like a button that you press?
He says, putting a ghostly hand, you have already pressed it, my friend.
Ah.
By meeting myself and my companion, and by taking one thing from each of us, that pin, and this. And next to, where are you again, Ken?
Cadmus
there.
is
So
here.
Yeah.
next to you, right there, a book flies up by your head again. This happens quite a bit. And right below you, right below the book which was left, you see a broken piece of wood is lying on the ground. It seems to be shaped and smooth and perhaps twisted as if it was formed into something, but it is only a piece, a shard of what was originally something much larger.
That's in front of my face?
It's down on the ground, like where...
Well, in front of the
Shadow,
paladin, in
almost
front of
so.
Shala. So Shala, grab the wood.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Does it look
What
like
good are you then?
Does it look
I
like
said I grabbed the wood.
Oh, I thought you said you
does
don't
it
grab
look
the
like
wood.
a piece of the tree?
So I would like you and you both to make perception checks for me, please.
That's not very good.
Plus what? Wisdom?
Yes.
20.
10.
Okay. Both of you, well, you both see that it has several runes along its side, as if they've been carved into the wood, and then was kind of, sealed with some kind of sealant, magical seal on top. But you also additionally notice that this wood seems identical to the wood that made up the trunk of that tree in the center. This was obviously carved from the same, not necessarily from that tree, but from the same kind of wood that that tree was made from. And he says, we found this was in the room with me, and I believe that creature that we destroyed was carrying it. We thought destroyed was carrying it.
Oh. Vernon.
This looks like it's made out of the same wood from the tree.
So I guess I'll grab back that pen.
Okay, so he gives back the pin to you.
Alright, so with
So,
the pen and the wood,
we're
we
going
should be able
east.
to get past that hallway now.
Right.
I believe you will be able to. I must. He says, I must warn you.
I sure
Whatever
hope
that
so.
creature is, it is filled with vengeance. It is justice, but vengeance nonetheless. And no belching will make it fade.
Righteous!
He didn't say that.
Righteous belching.
Right.
Can I heal Shala?
Sure.
Are you saying? Are you saying there's a great chance that we might perish in this battle?
No shit!
So be it. He draws his
Oh,
rapier.
for the love of God.
I'm trying to get Greg's attention to the cleric wants to heal the paladin.
Go ahead, Claire.
Ask the paladin how many points she has.
1 out of 12.
Yeah.
You don't let them like go ahead without us or whatever.
Wait. What is it? What are you
What are you doing?
Oh, no, I don't.
You don't roll
No,
to.
no, no, you have to roll. You just roll the
Wisdom
amount of
isn't it?
healing.
I do like the idea that you were rolling to hit him to heal, though. I feel like that's very appropriate for what we've seen.
And
This is how you heal. Yeah, exactly.
5 to hit was 12.
So you have a first level
Okay.
Okay,
cure
so
wound.
I will slap the pain out
So-
of
is this ghost thing still there?
Yes, although it's kind of floating. Wait.
So you
No,
guys
I don't
killed
think it's that
Vernon.
high.
No, not Vernon.
How much is
How much is cure light wounds?
Say again?
No,
D8
it's not
plus
cure
one.
light
The creature
wounds,
that
it's
was in
cure wounds.
that room, whatever it was.
It's
Yeah.
just killed.
Yeah.
Okay, that's who they killed.
They
5D.
killed.
It's
They
still
say a
D8,
second
I don't know.
time.
It's
When they
still-
found
it's
it, it
still
had already
D8
been
plus
killed
one.
once.
Is
That's
it
why it was
D8 plus
revenant.
one?
He
Okay.
says they killed it a
Or,
second
oh, no,
time.
actually, I think it's
And that's
plus
when it
wisdom.
was
We're hoping
more
13
time.
is the charm.
Okay.
Yep.
So plus
What's this have to
So
do
it killed
with
somebody
Vernon?
first, and then they tried to.
Presumably,
You're welcome.
it killed them after it,
feels
they tried to strike it down, then it killed them.
And you're a paladin,
And what
right?
did he say
But I
Vernon
burned all my
Ratchard
healing
had to
on you.
do with that?
Right, but there's
He said that
there's something in
he thinks
5e
Vernon
that allows
Ratchard
us
did something
to
to make it into a revenant in the first place.
do something that. Hey, oh, wise and powerful DM. Isn't there something in 5e where you can use the number of hit dice that you have to kind of heal yourself a little bit in between
just-
battles?
In between hit dice can be spent.
That's correct, if you take a short rest.
If I,
So,
it's
now a
just
short rest and let you know.
I'm asking to take a short rest. I
Okay,
am
it's a
implying
good
it in
idea.
character.
So you
but-
know, a short rest is gonna be about an hour, is what a short rest would be.
Oh, that was a 10 minutes. Okay.
No, I think
Nope.
it's an hour.
How
Yeah, well,
long
whatever.
did it take them when they were running around in circles in that room?
20 years, 1 hour. Sorry, I'm
When
sorry.
they were running around where?
When they were trying to figure this room out?
Oh, probably, I mean, you've probably been in here at this point, probably an hour or two,
Oh.
maybe an hour or so.
Yeah.
So we can regroup, have a nice little lunch.
My arm is still dripping.
Yeah.
We get like a picnic going.
Chomp.
We'll throw some bandages on that, a little
He
back
says,
team.
I
Could give you a
says-
healing word.
Rub some
He
dirt in it
says-
and get back in the game.
He says, if I were you, I would not linger long, for now that you have the 2 tokens, that door will be open, and it may pass through.
Yeah, I think we're going.
I guess we're just destroying this evil.
Yeah, let's do it.
But do we need,
Even if
we
it's not
haven't used
advisable.
that ability yet. Can't we use it now and then later if we?
Who are you?
I am Celius
You
Shornleaf,
only
sent
use that during
by
a
the
short
Harpers.
rest, though.
Oh, during a short
to
rest.
recruit
Really?
Right.
great students. But in lieu of that, I have also been sent here to discover what's going on.
wanted
All
to-
I found so far was plagiarism, but this, this is the big break.
Wait. So,
You mean something worse
So
than
wait-
plagiarism?
hold on. What you're saying,
I'm 123 years old. I'm sorry. I have a youthful face. Elf. Half elf.
that's not important.
okay.
You're here to recruit me.
Sure.
Yes.
You have made a promise. Ever since I inspired you, I saw that you could be a great.
Champion of knowledge.
Yes, not wrong.
I'm resistant to knowledge, I accept.
I want to point out to the folks, someone on Twitch just said, I know a whole group of people resistant to knowledge. They're found on Twitter or comments of YouTube. That's well said, Rockot. Also Twitch, I'm about to lose my power again, so you may lose me.
Racial
But,
bias
I
for
have-
trolls.
I got a
Yeah.
battery.
What do you do?
I got a thing.
Got
Pretty
it.
sure
Go
You
ahead.
got a thing.
I got a thing.
We're closing in on the end, presumably.
Lesson, is that my name? Yes, Lassen.
Who are you?
Fuck are you
Do
guys?
you have a
I'm
cord?
by the
Well, he's got-
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, Toby,
Lassen
Yeah,
has
you
been
should hop
keeping
up
a
there.
weather
Where
eye
the fuck are
on
you
our
people?
Dragonbane sword.
By the way, the monster can come out that door, so please keep shouting. Shut
Wait,
up!
you gotta turn it on. Did you turn it on?
Lesson.
The battery.
There's a button on it.
Okay.
The other side.
Other side. This thing?
Yeah.
On the side with the button.
Got it.
Nice.
All right.
The shiny button.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry,
Okay,
that
proceed.
was-
Sorry.
So
That's great.
Lesson is a little suspicious of our
I
Dragonbane
don't care.
sorcerer.
You got,
Hold on,
you
hold on.
got my attention.
Guys.
What's your character's name again?
Second. Sorry.
Collection.
Second.
Collection.
Kalexin?
Yeah.
You're
So say this again, Karen.
suspicious?
What?
You're
Yeah,
suspicious of
Lassen's a little
everybody.
suspicious-er
Oh.
Are you like,
of Klaxon because Klaxon wouldn't let Lassen have the book. So Lassen's kind of keeping an eye on Klaxon, you know, just in case he needs to use his sneak attack.
Okay. Noted.
Just saying.
All I know is
You're
when
just
we
like-
get out
you're
of
just
here,
log- you're just
I'm a member
logging
of the
your
Heart
complaints.
Oh, for the love of God.
Okay.
Should have let you die.
Yeah.
There's no better training than this.
Okay.
Don't
Believe
worry,
me,
we
Sean.
still can.
So,
Why, you deal with stupid people
so
too?
as you guys are standing,
We
the
make them smarter.
Ocean, the ghost of Ocean begins to spiral up and says, "Farewell, my friends. Do not make the same mistakes we did."
Oh, I think
Which
that's,
one? What exactly?
that's very
I
inevitable.
don't,
Getting
know,
killed.
I don't know if we're friends, but we are allies.
All right, so can
Don't
we strip
kill
off
the
this
revenant.
paper, Greg, or?
And so yes, so you can go into here.
Whoa! That's where you fight a boss.
Okay.
That looks like a
So-
boss room.
Whoop, boss room, boss room.
Sorry, just gonna put
This
that
is
on
like-
top of there.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
So
I said I'll take.
when
the
you
photo.
enter, you see the ever-present werelights
This is
again.
where we're at.
Are we
see
all
the-
over there now?
Yes, you're all over there.
Everybody
So you
else.
guys, as you enter, now see those ever-present werelights.
Yeah.
Let me show. Okay, there we go. The ever-present werelights. But there are way, way more of them.
Like,
If
where are
you
they
had-
all at?
If
Where are
you
they
had
all
to guess,
at, boss?
they are all around the room. Like they're
How many of them?
100.
Millions.
100.
They are, and as you get
We
in
have
there,
no
they
time.
begin to spiral. But instead of coming together this time, they begin to spiral first like this, and then they start to go this way. So like this, and there's a blue light, and then stalking from the blue light, sort of coming back
Yeah.
from the shadows, right?
And you know who's
So
gonna
like
step through
this.
the portal?
Mike Stackpole.
We know who.
Like this, right? Is not Mike Stackpole. Marching from here.
It's a panda.
Vernon!
No.
Oh.
Marching from here
Is it Batman?
is a creature, a medium, but it doesn't look to be, at least immediately, a monster. It is a medium-height young man
Wolfman.
with long dark hair and eyes that blaze with a deep blue fire, the same blue as the werelights that surrounded it. And it comes up directly to, who's in front?
Us.
Oh, the
Okay.
crazy ones.
Who else?
To you two.
The
It
cadet.
comes up to you and it says, "What are you doing in my library?"
Would you believe looking for a book?
I have a question.
Not anymore, huh?
Out of character, in
Out of
character.
character question. Is divine sense something that I can do which doesn't have an obvious effect? That's my ability to detect evil, detect powerful evil, detect powerful good. Is it something that I can just do? Or is it something like where I need to mutter a prayer or focus or...
I think all you would need to do for that is to basically just sort of concentration, you like kind of narrow your eyes. I don't think you'd be like, oh,
Okay, because as soon as I see it coming, then I would like to use divine sense.
It is definitively not evil.
Thank you.
And so in answer to its question, the answer is being used as pawns by our elders.
Yeah!
What are you doing here?
And he sort of backs up and he says, "Elders, that's what they all say. All of them thought they knew better, but all of you are tools for them.
Yes.
That's why you're here in the first place. It's why you're through the door.
That's why
Because
that's
you're
what
working
we
for
said.
them.
No.
We seek
No.
justice
No,
for
not
the
that.
crimes
Justice!
that Vernon Ratchard committed.
Get the word justice out of your mouth. You don't know the first meaning of the word."
That's true.
And as he says this, Lassie, that's true, actually. Lassie, make a perception check for me.
We're
please,
just
Lassie.
students. Yeah, what
Well,
are you
no.
doing? You're pissing it
Well,
off.
not this, it's like 112.
That's
And you call me the stupid one.
11.
Okay. You notice that as he's speaking to you, he seems to be sort of, the light in his eyes, the blaze in his eyes seems to be dimming and then sort of waxing and waning again, right? So, right? As he speaks to you. And every so often you can see what looks like a wince. It's not clear if it's of pain or of something, but there's something like that. He says, "So, did you all come here to fulfill a class? To fulfill a
No.
professor's
Actually,
wish?"
we're,
Out of detention.
actually, we're on detention.
My name
Detention.
is Celius Shornleaf, and I came here to find out what is going on at this school,
Oh,
and
shut
I want
up.
to know what happened to you. Tell us your story.
I just
We
want
know what
dirt
happened. We
on
got
that
screwed
dirt.
over by the teachers.
And he stops and says, "You know something about being screwed over by them, do you?
Oh, yeah!
A little bit, not as much as you do.
What did they do, pray tell, to you? Did they dip someone's pigtail in an inkwell? Did they flick your ears sitting behind you in the cafeteria?
Okay,
They
I have a
locked us
bad
down
feeling.
here
Did they
in his place with
push
you.
you into a locker room?
They did.
They taped my
Manipulate
buttocks
us.
together. No, that's right.
He looks around and he says, "Because if they did none of these things to you, then none of you know what justice is and what injustice is that I experienced.
Well, we got locked down here.
Well, you know what? We seem to have all night. Why don't we have a rap session about it? We could talk. We could clear the air.
does
You know, we
that
could really
sound
get down to the heart of some
But
issues.
how I am a good and virtuous paladin, and I can tell that you are no creature of evil. How can we help you?
Yes.
Help
find
us
the
help you.
justice that
He
you
says,
need?
he says, I am a creature of vengeance, Paladin. I don't spend time in churches praying to non-existent gods. I am animated by
mean that.
vengeance against what was done to me and was done to none of you, because all of you are part of the system that made this happen and brought me here.
He's just, I think he's kind
All of you are here serving Vernon Richard. Admit it, all of you.
No!
He put us here.
I actively don't like him. Look! I denounce
My
Vernon
God, a
Richard.
character background. No,
We have minutes to tell you about all of the drow microaggressions he has committed over the last
Vernon
These
Richard is a
children, these
hypocrite
children
and a
are
sycophant.
confused, like
He
you.
earns no loyalty.
He
from
says,
us.
is this true? And he sort of looks at all of you and he says, then prove it. Prove it. How do you know? How do you know that he is evil?
We have his brooch from when he came forth and.
So he sees the pin and he goes, you could have stumbled upon that.
We have the wood.
We have his wood.
We have Vernon's wood. We have a
And
firm grip on
We
it.
spoke with jail.
we have met Jail OG.
We spoke with jail.
And
Where did you-
Alter
you spoke-
Severin.
And he sort of, you spoke with,
They spoke.
they
in,
attacked me.
They spoke in your defense.
I had to kill them, they attacked me.
And they said they were wrong to do so.
Yeah, they
Yes,
feel
listen.
really bad.
They admitted their fault.
Make a persuasion check for me at advantage.
All of us, or just?
Can I roll to assist?
Yes, all of you.
Natural 20.
Woohoo!
I got 3
I
total,
got
not natural.
a 19 to assist. Listen,
Which is a 24 with mod.
woo, you may not believe
I
it.
gotta stop for a second. 19, 20, what else have I got?
I rolled a natural 20. It's
Sorry, hold
24
on, right.
with mod.
What do you add
Okay.
to it? What do you add?
Charisma.
If you have persuasion.
Charisma?
So I got 14.
Charisma plus 1, I have a 15.
I got 15 plus 5, so 20, but I'm not sure.
Oh,
what
what am I
advantage
doing?
means.
Sorry, wait.
Everyone is
what?
making a,
27.
is making a persuasion
And then
check.
add
You
your
got it?
charisma.
I feel
Another
I
natural
feel left
20.
out.
Another
I should just go ahead and roll.
You're making
too.
persuasion. You're making persuasion. Yeah, everybody is.
And
Oh,
then you.
okay.
No, you too.
Oh, okay. Everybody's supposed
Everybody is. Yep.
to. I see.
But the natural 20 kind of.
What do we,
Your
persuasion?
charisma bonus.
20,
So you got
9,
it.
10.
Okay.
10.
My persuasion is
Okay, I think I got some from everybody. So he's sort of like, he kind of is,
plus 1.
Right, because you got the skill.
and you see his eyes kind of blaze, and then he says, does it matter anyway?
If it matters to
Yes,
you.
it does. When
It
it comes
has-
to jerk.
Does.
So he raised a hand, he says, I was his best student. He sort of paces around the room.
No.
I was his best student. I was better than any of them, and he knew it. He was only a young teacher then. He had just come to the school. And I was his best student.
You
I'm
still
giving
are.
him- I'm giving him big, sad, halfling
Okay.
eyes.
Look, I just want to say
So
I
he's-
am really proud of you.
He's,
Takes a lot of courage to go through this.
he sort of looks at all of you. He's sort of only half taking it in, and it seems his mind is kind of somewhere else. And he's like, he grew angry. I did the experiments faster. The other teachers spoke more to me than to him.
He was jealous.
He was jealous. He brought me down here. He said that he needed to speak to me once and for all.
Show me on the voodoo.
Clear
doll
the
ring.
air, he said. He grew angry at me.
Betrayal. He
He
betrayed.
said to come into this room, and he kind of turns around and points at the room behind him. To come into this room,
Yeah.
and he would reveal the truth. And then I heard crackling and a sound, and I felt electricity crackling through my body. And then darkness.
You won't get justice by wreaking more violence. Listen, come with us, testify, and we can do this the right way.
He says, I cannot leave this area.
Well,
I am
maybe-
bound here, And you, as he says that, you see he kind of winces. He says, and
we be
you can,
the
you can
agents of
see
your
you can see that
vengeance.
now he winced at the same time that the fire kind of
Yeah,
blazed down a
yeah,
little
yeah.
bit. So he says,
Oh, he's losing his focus.
I will not. It was 20 years ago on this very night. I will not. I cannot stay here much longer. And he kind of falls to one knee and he's like, if you have any sense of justice in you, you will tell them what he did.
How do we prove it? Would the pen and the wood be enough?
And he says,
I doubt it.
there is more.
What
and
do we
he,
need to
And he
prove?
turns around and he kind of, so this is the Platoon, Willem Dafoe moment. Where he does this thing, right? And from here, these books fly up. Not at you this time. Fly up. And then one of them lands just sort of flat, but it lands as if it was placed, like
Yeah.
on one spot. And it has a weight to it when it hits. Yeah, it's a book.
I will walk up to it and check it out.
On the cover of it,
That's me in the red.
on the cover of it, it says, Journal, Caleb Ironcloak. And he says,
It's the Horcrux.
that was, he says, I wrote everything. Everything in there. Everything.
I would like to take a knee in front of the Revenant and say a quick prayer to whatever God I believe in, and say that we will make sure that you're avenged.
Yeah.
I will take this book out into the world and I will shove it right up his ass.
While these guys are yakking about the book, I skitter
I like
over
the way
there.
you think. Yes, sorry, you're gonna do what?
I skitter over there and read it.
Okay.
Well, I'm holding it. It's in my hand.
The journal,
look
first of
at
all,
You can read over my
She's trying
shoulder.
to
as you're flicking through, and obviously it's, there's a lot of entries, but the first few entries seem to be much more talking about how excited he is to come to the school,
Flip
and
to
how
the
happy
end.
he is with the classes, right? And then there's a lot more references to Richard, Vernon Richard. And finally, right, Vernon Richard about it. And at the very last few pages, there is reference to the idea that that Vernon Richard has told me I must come down here. And the note that he puts under it, he says I am, in quotes, in detention.
Ooh! Oh, we're gonna have to.
Is the Revenant still with us?
Yeah, but
He's
He's
fading
fading.
fast.
yeah, like
Okay. Is your body here, your bones, any proof that you were physically here? Is there anything beyond the book?
We could make a scraping of some kind.
long since destroyed. And he kind of looks around. But
Anything else you left behind?
and there is and you see on the back of his body, on the back of his like as he's kind of on his knee, that he has kind of a cloak, and every part of the rest of him is kind of brimming in and out. But he kind of rips, and there is a piece of sort of dark purple cloak.
Oh, nice.
And I offer him my empty hand.
Okay, and he places it in the hand, and when their hands touch for a minute, there is this horrific cold, like just
Like frostbite cold.
Yeah, well, it doesn't do damage, but it's like you touched the cold of beyond. Where
Yeah.
you're like, and he's like, and he sort of holds it for and he says, "You, all of you, if you have justice in you, then see my justice." And then he falls, and his body just collapses, and it's like Ben Kenobi in Death Star, right? In Death Star Wars, right? Right.
I will make Vernon eat this cloak.
Yes!
I will
Yeah.
not
So-
cheer.
Now, as you do this, there is one more thing. So the wear-lights all seem to vanish but one, which feebly goes over here and then hovers around here, barely visible.
Go check
I'm
that
going
out.
over there.
Let's go ahead and open
That's
it.
Bro,
message.
check it out.
Okay. So
Fighter goes and backs her up.
make an investigation check for me. Anyone
Come
who's
on,
over there.
I think we're all moving then.
Natural 20.
Wow. Okay. You find that in that wall there are a couple of books, as there is everywhere here, but you find that a couple of the books have been pushed aside, and there is what looks like there's bookshelves, but there's what looks like some strange piece of stone or something between those two books. It's very small, but you have seen things like this before, Lass, and this is what you've been in places like this before. So when you press it, there's this, and there's this very steep flight of stairs leading upwards, and you hear the sound very faintly of
Yeah, the anniversary.
Graduation. I think we should all go to graduation singing boom chaka laka laka, boom chaka laka laka, boom chaka laka laka, boom. Hey,
what do you guys want to do?
Up the stairs.
Up the stairs.
Let's go graduate.
Let's go
So-
show everyone at graduation our evidence.
When you go up to
Justice.
the stairs, right above you, there is this, so you get up to the top of the stairs, and very close to you, you're sort of like, have to, kind of crouch down the last couple steps. There's a kind of wall or a ceiling right above you that's sort of close by.
Trapdoor?
That seems to be, it seems like that, that you could push up, but it's kind of
Push.
stuck a little
Let me
bit.
take a look here.
Does it
Wait,
seem like
let's
a
see
brute
what's
strength
left.
thing or a
Okay, go
finesse
ahead and make
thing?
investigation first,
Yeah.
and we'll
Well,
find out.
we'll see what Lassen says.
Lassen says it's not a very good roll, but. So it's an investigation, you said?
Yeah.
12.
Okay. Clearly a trapdoor.
Push.
Clearly.
No question.
No question.
The paladin's pushing through.
What do you got?
12.
I can offer a hand.
Okay, go ahead.
Got this.
Darn it, 11. How many else want to pitch in?
It is trapped, you guys. are
Throwing
saying.
my axe.
18.
Okay, not trap story, trap door.
Trapped.
That was kind of funny. No, I said trapped. Oh god. Right.
Son of a bitch!
So when you you're like, so with all your righteous, like I am the, you push it open, and you emerge into a party. So yeah, exactly.
But there's Vernon, right?
And you see signs everywhere, like, congratulations, class 1360, right? Like, you see all these places, like, over, everybody have it, right? Wendy Shawn's very popular, 1360. So, they're all, and it's, so you're in the middle of the Great Hall, and there are tables set up. There are hundreds of students. All the faculty are in a table on the front, and right up, standing with a glass, apparently about to sort of silence the students, is Thaddeus Colariton himself, the head of school. And he sees you, and everyone goes silent because you guys all emerge, and you basically are like, and you're just in the middle of the room. Like,
Mic
everyone
drop.
sees you from all over.
Surprise!
And next to Thaddeus is Vernon Richard, who looks, it's a kind of a mixture of surprise and rage and anger, and he says, "What? These
I
were on detention."
walk right up to him, very
Okay.
calmly. I say, Mr. Professor, is it Professor Richard?
It would be, this is Professor Richard, yes.
Professor Richard, I can explain everything.
Okay.
I punch him in the face.
Nice.
Do you have the-
18.
Do you have the
You
cloak
try to
in
punch
your
him in the
fist?
face.
Alright, I try to punch him in the face.
What you
18,
actually
but-
do,
Go ahead, you get a bonus though.
Plus 5.
Oh, I did get plus 5, so it'd be a 23.
it is a mighty, mighty punch. But it is stopped by the hand of Thaddeus Colariton. He stops. Now, this is, I want to point out, this man, although
like a
he is
martial
tall and
artist.
imposing, is not, right, exactly, not a martial artist. But he stops you with something inexorable. Like, and when he hits it, it doesn't even feel like you're hitting his hand. It feels like you're hitting a buffer of air next to his hand. And he says, "I think that will be quite enough of that, Cadmus."
Oh,
He
I
says-
think we just got started.
He says, "What is the meaning of this, Vernon?" And Richard says, all of these hooligans were supposed to be in detention, and all of them were," and he stops for a
Look,
second.
buddy,
and
the
he
game's
says,
up.
And he
Hold up,
says,
hold up
"You,
the banner.
Calixton, you were supposed to keep an eye on him."
Hold up the pen,
Oh, I did.
hold up the journal.
I saw the whole thing.
And he waits, looking at you, and
The boy
okay, so you're holding up.
kills.
He's not looking at you yet, he's looking at Calixton.
The boy you killed, the other two professors who died, all
What?
the things you covered up.
What is this nonsense?
The
Your
evidence
dirty
of it all
laundry's
back.
about to be aired, my friend.
Yes, exactly.
Have you forgotten Caleb?
He says, "I don't know who you're talking about."
Oh, I think you do.
He looks back, and Thaddeus is like,
you do.
Yes, you do.
Uh-huh.
He certainly remembers you.
Thaddeus, this man next to you is a fraud. Listen, I
And
have
a
betrayed you. I am not a student or a child. I am Sally Shornleaf of the Harper sent to investigate your school because of this man murdering an innocent student.
he stops and he says, we'll deal with your student status later. First of all,"
Who gives a damn if he matriculated or not?
and
You're
he
a
says-
killer!
And he says,
We already graduated. We're from the Harpers. Don't you get it?
he says, so he stops.
You're busted!
He stops and he says, "Whether you're students or not, at the moment, you are under my charge. Now, explain this. How do you know this? What does this mean? What happened? Who was killed?"
Where's the book?
Someone
I have the book
explain.
right here.
Okay, so
What did you see? Show him what you saw.
I hand it to
Oh, no,
Valencia.
no, no.
what is this? A journal of
Show
Caleb
it.
Ironcloak. Who is Caleb Ironcloak?
The dead guy!
What? There was
There's
no.
a lot of
No one has died
betrayed
on
by
my.
The
Vernon.
Revenant.
There was no one dead on my watch.
No, it was before.
20 years ago.
Before your time.
20.
20
And
years
then
ago.
you see this sort of flash of recognition. He's like, he looks down at Vernon, who's studiously avoiding looking at him now, and he's like,
I thought we were talking about Vernon.
no, well, you're talking about
Thaddeus.
that.
Oh, it's
Vernon-
Thaddeus. I thought we were talking about Vernon.
I mean, Vernon is there fuming.
Yeah,
when
Yeah,
he's
no,
there.
we're talking about Thaddeus. Yeah.
And so Thaddeus is like, and so, but Vernon is right there too. But Thaddeus is the one who has had your hand stopped, etc.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
And Thaddeus is like, so you mean to tell me some student was killed, and Vernon here had something to do with it? And Vernon says, that's ridiculous.
He had
These are a bunch of miscreants who are trying to play upon your good nature.
fragment.
We have irrefutable evidence.
And who has the wood fragment? Shala, do you have the fragment?
Yep. She's
I have the pin and the cloak fragment.
And you
Shala
just
has,
away with it except
Shala
for
has the
us
artifact.
kids.
Not all of us are kids.